right now. He's sweating. Look at this. Atomic has tried to get dimbos because he can't.
Oh! Oh! Play open. Beast mode towards net. Beast mode. Oh! What? The other way. Flip reset. It's open for beast mode. Down. The shot denied. Beast mode scored.
Landon Beast Mode Kahneman was born August 3rd, 2005, and he would play in the closed qualifiers in early 2019 to try and qualify for the DreamHack Pro circuit. This tournament would get Beast Mode into playing in more events, and on July 7th, 2020, Beast Mode would sign to his first team, the Kansas City Pioneers. Before KCP moved to OCE, they picked up a roster consisting of Beast Mode, Rapid, and Memory to compete in the RLCS X in the winter split. Entering RLCS Season X, they wouldn't have any standout performances, with multiple 5th through 8th finishes in the grid, and a 9th through 11th in the first regional. However, KCP would have a standout performance in the second regional.
Of the opponent's half. They just got to keep this pressure, get some booming clears, and it's all thanks to Jordan on that big hit with the 50. How does this go in?
That was something else. Percy, that inaction.
My goodness.
It might come back to cost them.
We can get a game 5.
Jordan off the ceiling pass down. 0-second opportunity. It's floating up. Beast mode off the back. Oh, Bill airborne. Rapid. The shot.
Rapid.
Memory rebound.
No.
Oh, it's it. Rapid wins it. There's the Magic Bear to the backboard. Memory just needs to get this to the ground. Magic Bear, the wrap. Rapid hits it to the ground, and the Pioneers make it work. They win game 4 in stunning fashion, and in game 5, clutch it. And they'll be moving on to play Envy, top 4 for the Pioneers.
This dramatic win against Alpine puts KCP in the top 4. Unfortunately, they would fall short against Envy, losing 4-2. However, KCP going 3-0 in both Swiss stages put a lot of eyes upon KCP, breaking through to that top 4 spot and entering the last split in the fall. KCP would shock all of North America. This second place finish in the last regional of the fall split put KCP as the 5th seed coming into the regional. Beast Mode was 1 goal away from getting his first regional champion under his belt. Unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we could not hold an international major. Instead, we had majors in all 4 regions to crown the major champions. KCP would squeeze by on the Swiss stage with their sweep over Xset. Entering the playoff bracket, they would face a very strong SSG team. Unfortunately, SSG would sweep them and go on to win the entire major. Entering the winter split, Beast Mode and KCP could not find the same success as they did in the fall, and they would have a 9th through 12th, a 5th through 8th, and a 13th through 16th throughout the 3 regionals. This put them in a tie with 3 other NA teams for the major, where they would beat Ghost in Game 7 fashion in OT to make the major. However, during the major, they would lose out and place 7th through 8th. The spring split, however, would be a dramatic story, having another 2nd place finish against Rogue in the first regional, a top 8 in the next, and finishing top 4 in the grid, going 10-5 overall in league play. This set sights upon this KCP roster, and 3 days before the last regional in the split, Shopify Rebellion would buy out the KCP roster. With their top 8 finish, Shopify would compete in the Spring Major. Shopify would start their journey off strong, going 3-1 in the group stage, only losing out to a strong rogue team again, and they would face FaZe in the first round of the playoffs, which is the X-Peeps roster. This series would find itself in a Game 7.
Awkward, he desperately wanted to fire it across the box. Here it is again, Gyro! It's again on target. This time the pre-jump saved by Gyro. AJ has just pulled up to it, side onto the ball. Beast Mode's back! Awkward is for FaZe. They're just all desperately trying to get the clear. So hang on. Gyro stays up front. AJ doesn't even need him. He doubles it in. He's denied by AJ. Final 10 seconds.
Beast Mode already up, goes up high, but Gyro's already waiting for it. They need to put forward a challenge quickly. Memory has got a bit of space, but this is so difficult to try and work with. He just clamors for the ball out of the corner. As Illusion taps with putting the ball onto the floor. It's in! And FaZe Clan have fought their way through to the North American Championships.
This Game 7 loss has Shopify exit the major, coming 5th through 8th. The North American Championship, however, has the top 6 NA teams throughout the season compete in a double elim bracket to crown the best team in NA, and Shopify would come 7th place, only 170 points behind the 6th place spot. If Shopify won the game against FaZe in the Spring Major, they would be able to compete in the NA Championship. This is a heartbreaking loss for Beast Mode and Shopify. They would have to turn over a new light, put their heads down, and grind for the following season. For the 21-22 season, international majors were back with a similar format as Season X. Coming into the fall split for the first regional, Shopify Rebellion would have a terrible performance, going out 12th through 14th and going 1-3 in the Swiss stage. And this is where Beast Mode's story would take a drastic turn. The day is October 25th, 2021. 10 days after the first regional. Beast Mode would tweet out something that struck the entire Rocket League community. Beast Mode would retire. Many pros and big members of the community would give words of encouragement and sympathy towards the young player. Others, however, did not agree with his decisions, saying that he was throwing away his career and the money that he could potentially make. Beast Mode's reasoning for retiring in a nutshell was that the game was taking a toll on his mental health, and he wanted to focus on real-life sports, high school, and connecting with friends and family. He felt like he was neglecting due to the multiple hours daily he would put into playing Rocket League. And this would be the end of the story for Beast Mode, never able to find that regional win. Beast Mode would join V1 after his 3-month break. Many were skeptical about how Beast would perform after the break, but the majority welcomed him back in open arms, excited to see how he could bounce back after the mental break. Who would he be teaming up with, you ask? Calm, Torment, and Fireburner as a coach. They seem had many question marks surrounding how much they would accomplish. And coming into the winter split for the 21-22 season, they would prove the doubters wrong, coming 4th in the first regional, beating G2 twice. This proved that there was untapped potential with this team, and coming into the second regional, they would do it again. V1 would come 9th through 12th in the second regional. After this performance, V1 needed a huge third regional to make the winter major, which the top 5 out of NA qualifies for, and they would pull through.
Eternal, you're talking about the save percentage for version 1 throughout the season. Well, hang on a second. Oh my goodness! Beast Mode! I didn't know this Squishy was gonna try to pop that up so high.
He's going for another bump, dude.
Oh, Torment! Boom! Beast Mode is there, puts it above the crossbar. Garrett can't find it. In for Torment. 2 dunks, 3-0.
Down with their aggression. What kind of style are they gonna go for? Do they continue with the demos? Do they try and focus more on the midfield passing that's worth? Or do they just rely on Beast Mode to be an absolute menace on offense?
One played an erratic, symphonious, but beautiful
another one
song through this weekend.
All of them, and they did it with brute force, just nothing but physical gameplay from these players.
They absolutely crushed them. Outboxed wouldn't be doing it a service. It was literally a demolition derby.
This regional win would be Beast Mode's first, almost immediately after his retirement. This meant he also would be attending the Winter Major LAN in LA, which also would be his first. Coming into the LAN, they would start off a red hot, going 3-0 in their group, and even beating the all-rookie roster, Team Queso. V1 winning the group automatically put V1 in the upper bracket, where they would face a strong SSG team, and this is how their bracket run went.
This time playing table setter, but Arsenal got the shot blocked away very quickly.
The demo.
Reynolds for the win. Thyself scores, and SSG denies the reverse sweep effort.
SSG pull it off in Game 6. Look at those boys go. The energy's all there.
But version 1 closed the gap, trying to crash the box. Version 1 might have a chance. Beast mode coming across. Is there a shot coming? Comes there. Squeezes it across. Oh my goodness! Comes, squeezes the ball into the net.
How has Scott managed this?
Pulled up, passed in front. Where's the shot? Coming up high. Torment barely gets the touch out. The rebound. The pass in front. Oh! AJ sends version 1 packing. They move on.
V1 would come top 6, which wasn't bad for the first LAN run. They even beat the eventual second place team, Queso. V1 would show flashes of brilliance, but ultimately late in the tournament would fall short. Coming into the spring major, V1 would start hot again, sweeping Endpoint and beating Moist. They would end up in the upper bracket semifinals facing Carmine Corp, and this series would end up in a Game 7.
Astral being harassed. Clear out. Nolly decides to keep the play open. Beast mode towards net. Beast mode! What? A thriller at the copper box. Beast mode in 0 seconds. Oh my!
That's it?
This insane beast mode goal would 1. Guarantee a top 3 finish for V1, 2. Would make Calm one of the most hated pros because of his trash talk, and 3. Put V1 against the strongest MENA team we've ever seen. This MENA team was Team Falcons, and in this series, Falcons proved they were the better team. Ahmed would have a masterclass performance and would beat V1 in 7. However, V1 still have one more shot to make the major grand finals, and it would be the team who they have already beaten before, Moist Esports.
Wants the bump. Does he get it? Oh! Bar! What off the bar! Version 1, take a dip in the Arctic Ocean. Cold and wet, eliminated from contention.
A tsunami of support surges through the copper box. The Moist Esports boys knock North America down a peg and out of grand.
This audience just starts another rendition of one of my favorite chants.
They've actually done it again.
This loss in enemy territory made Calm one of the most hated players in the RLCS. Nevertheless, V1's 3rd place finish made them a strong contender to win Worlds, especially with them beating Moist twice the last 2 majors, which were the Spring Major champions and the favorites for Worlds. Coming into the World Championship, V1 came 9th in the World Region standings, which was 1 placement out of automatically qualifying to the group stage for Worlds. However, this wouldn't bother V1 much, as they would win almost all of their matches, except for SSG, and they would finish 3-1 in the Swiss stage. Entering the group stage, V1 would face a familiar foe, NRG, where one of the most impressive goals was scored.
Both in the same spot.
Oh my God!
Justin!
As the flip, uses it, the double, no! Time!
V1 would end up sweeping anyways. They were 1 win away from making the playoffs in the World Championship, and they would get embarrassed by BDS, only scoring 1 goal in the entire series. This tough loss would drop them to the lower bracket, where if they win, they advance to the playoffs, but if they lose, their 21-22 season comes to an end, and they would face a familiar face yet again, SSG. The same team who beat them 4-2 in the winter, and the same team who beat them 4-2 a few days prior. This SSG team was the one thing standing in the way for that last playoff spot.
He wants more of version 1. Boost to work with. Would reset down. Gonna drop it down. They put Space Station down. The shot denied. BEASTMODE scores! Space Station up and grounded. Version 1 to the playoffs.
This win over SSG would set V1 in the playoffs, taking out my favorite team in the process. Their quarterfinal match would once again be a North American team, FaZe Clan. This series would be a big back and forth battle, but you know, I'll just let the gameplay do the talking.
Fake there from Typical involved again to the end. One more chance for V1. They do take a goal into game 2. That will wake them up as well. Version 1 getting the ball to each other. It does fall to a FaZe Clan player. Typical is there. AJ's watching. Com gets it away. Version 1 equalised the series.
Oh, then suddenly a 2-1 off the kickoff. Then 3-4-5. It just counted up to FaZe Clan's demise.
I mean, we said at the time that kickoff goal that FaZe conceded as they try and get one more. They can't even get that. I just love seeing that man giggle.
Dispossessed his teammate, but the pressure does continue for FaZe Clan, and it is not abating soon.
No!
It goes low!
No!
It is an equaliser!
Who better than First Killer to be the man to bring FaZe Clan right back into this series? It was looking agonizing for them, and it was actually a touch from Com who was underneath. I didn't even realize. And from Typical, he wants a teammate in the center. They're defending right now. FaZe Clan from the front. It goes up, AJ reads it. All the pressure on, he still gets these reads. And Typical says no.
Back and forth, it's been high scoring, then low scoring, high scoring, then low scoring. So version 1 have done a great job at snuffing the flames that FaZe Clan, keep trying to build up. But right now, all eyes on the prize, and you can tell the smiles have gone away. It's time to get back to work.
On the left-hand wing, BEASTMODE gets the 100 boost, goes high, air dribbles, gets that 50, it goes low, it goes in!
Still good. FaZe Clan on the attack all the way to the end. First gets still being passed. AJ gets a chance anyway. Where's Typical? He's not in passes. We said you can never count them out. There is your proof.
The possession, Torment, leaving way to BEASTMODE. It rolls, so dangerous. It's Torment, because who else?
We just keep having wonderful games in this series.
Forward, Torment there, great positioning, BEASTMODE challenging, and it's open, backline's there, Com goes through the net.
Com, again, the opportunities are rising every time the final 20 seconds. BEASTMODE, 60 boost, but this green turning into a nightmare.
Now his Typical, that challenge might be the final test for FaZe Clan. He's boomed out the way. Torment puts it only across his goal line. Version 1 needs so much more. FaZe Clan just have to hold. Each second will feel like an eternity. Can they manage it? Not quite yet. Here is coming the corner. It's dangerous. First Killer has to avoid the fight and does. FaZe Clan are your first semi-finalists. They've made it through. It's gone all the way, and maybe FaZe Clan will too.
Continuing the trend, we have now got 54-0 with the 3 games lead that a team manages to secure. FaZe Clan, that red eruption in the arena, that is the end of the path of version 1.
This loss to FaZe would end V1's 2021-2022 RLCS season, coming top 8 in the World Championship. They were consistently making top 8s throughout their LAN appearances, and coming into the 2022-2023 season, V1 would stick and play in the fall major. But they would go 3-1 again, losing to a strong Oxygen roster. And coming into the playoffs, version 1 would meet South America's second best team, Secret. And V1 would fall 2-0 in the series, take a timeout, and take a game in 7 minutes of OT. Then would lose the series 4-1. A huge upset from this underrated SAM team. Once again, V1 make the playoffs, but don't break through to that top 4 finish like they did in the spring. And for the winter split, they needed to lock in. But unfortunately, V1 would fall 9th through 12th in the first 2 regionals. And coming to the last regional, they needed a miracle to participate in the winter major. V1 could not pull it off, going 5th through 8th in the last regional. After making 4 straight LAN appearances, this streak would come to an end. And coming into the spring split, a change to the roster was needed. After the failure of making the LAN, there was a 2-month gap in between the next regional. And during this gap, 2 players from NA that didn't make the major was making some noise in the scene. And those 2 players were BEASTMODE and Daniel. This duo was dominating small tournaments. And on April 8th, V1 would come out and address the rumors.
Reports that version 1 is in potential talks to acquire Daniel. If you see
that Daniel is now set
like
to
said,
sign
V1 in talks with SSG to have Daniel.
Do we think it's 100% gonna happen? It's true. Let's go.
Daniel got another to go! Are you kidding me? Look at him go! You can't give Daniel that space! Oh my God, Daniel with this gimme James saved! Oh, that's a hat trick as well! That is a tough play. My gosh! Daniel!
Daniel would join V1, with the team consisting of him, BEASTMODE, and Calm. And coming to the spring split, they were looking to live up to the hype. Unfortunately, V1 would fall 9th through 12th in the first regional together. But looking ahead, they needed a good placement to qualify for Worlds and the spring major.
Out of this version 1 squad, and now they're less than 5 minutes away from claiming the Spring Cup. Now Mist and First have to be on the same page. They're not. It's open. Mist got bounced out of the way by First Killer. You could even, you go back to the end of Game 3. I think it's where it really started to fall apart. This one's given away, and Daniel scores. BEASTMODE gonna take his time. Now he's picked this spot. Oh, he got bumped, but that actually helped out version 1. Daniel wins the tournament. Oh, the storybook ending has written itself!
What a play! And what a goal! Daniel, beautiful placement there, and doesn't get much better than that for version 1. You asked for it, people wanted the regain, and they got it. They came in this Spring Cup, and they owned it. Congratulations to V1 for the win!
V1 would win the regional, almost guaranteeing the major qualification. This dominant performance is what we expected from this Daniel BEASTMODE duo, but they only dropped a total of 3 games the entire tournament. Now all they need is a good placement in the last regional. A top 8 would almost guarantee the major, which was very doable. And V1 would go 9th through 12th in the last regional, falling short for the spring major. For the first time in NA or EU history, winning a regional and not qualifying for a major. But they do have enough points for the World Championship, right? I mean, that's a bigger tournament anyway. V1 would fall short of the World Championship. Only the top 5 NA attended, because NA was terrible last year. Nevertheless, the standings were the standings, and BEASTMODE's 2022-2023 season came to an end. However, there was still hope in this roster. After Worlds, an event called Gamers 8 was being held with a $2 million prize pool. And in the qualifier, where the top 4 would qualify for Gamers 8, they would win the entire thing, putting them in the Gamers 8 LAN. However, entering this tournament, V1 knew they were not sticking no matter the outcome, so they wanted to end this roster with a bang. The tournament had a drastically different format compared to the other RLCS events. There would be 4 groups of 6 teams in a double elimination bracket where the top 2 teams per group would qualify for the playoffs. This format would play with V1's strengths extremely well, with BEASTMODE Dan's 2v2 dominance and Daniel's 1v1 skills, and Calm just being there. V1 would start the Gamers 8 run beating SA and Liquid. However, they do fall to a team playing on their home soil. Rule 1. V1 dropped to the lowers and would face Team Liquid again for a rematch, and they would win in 5, denying the reverse sweep. And entering the playoffs, they would play a red-hot auction to beat the reigning world champs in the group stage, Vitality. And this series would go to a Game 7.
Game 7. 3v3.
In the first quarter.
$105,000 and a spot in the semi-finals to play for $500,000. That is what this individual game means.
Split the 1v1. Beast Mode was the hero in that first 1v1, but Jory has got it through. Beast Mode, though, he has been clinical. Unleashed gets the first goal.
Managed to win out, but they've got that pressure. But that demo goes very their way. Ixo secures it, but the shot very much coming from his teammate. The save away leaves this pressure fully for V1. Joris with one block down. Goes up high. Second miss. Second shot. Second goal for BMO. Final 5. Ixo's up. Some magic needs to happen, but the man with 0 boost cannot do it. Joris finds Archie. Daniel, the man to intercept. But in Beast Mode's corner, nothing is going to be happening. Joris with a flick. Goes cornerwards yet again. Touchdown! Version 1! The team in purple find victory here at Gamers 8. $105,000 richer.
This electric W leads them into another MENA team, which they beat in 6. However, I am forgetting a very important aspect of this roster. Going into Gamers 8, Daniel was going to be the guy playing in 1v1 playlists, as he was the best ones player on that roster. However, coming into the playoffs, Daniel had nerves and said someone else should fill that role, and Beast Mode would be that guy, filling in for the 1v1 playlist. And so far, it has worked out well, but coming into the grand final, he would be facing one of the best 1v1 players in the world. But instead of an NA versus EU final, it was an NA versus MENA final. And who was this grand finalist, you ask? Rule 1. The team who took them out of groups, the team who swept the reigning world champs, and the team who stopped BDS. Daniel and V1 needed to beat this team, who were at home and all playing at their peaks. And V1 would need to pull out a miracle.
Fun. Do something they could not do in the group stage. They've beaten Rule 1 in 3v3 mode.
Ruas is waiting, he's flicking it this time, he's not gonna miss again. A swarm of version 1 players are proving impenetrable as far as Rule 1 are concerned.
A massive, a monumental improvement by V1.
Lean back, not quite yet in despair. That might happen if there's another one, especially as it's now to the backboard. It's left by Beast Mode. He comes back with the ball. He can get the flip reset. Can he take the double? Not quite. 15 seconds left now. Version 1 pushing all the way. Daniel, he gets the dunk. Is anyone at the bottom of it? Oh, it's gonna bounce. It's the last bounce he wanted. No way from Beast Mode. Now here's Daniel. Does he get the shot? He makes it. And come puts it away. I'll take a half second, desperate for this goal. Here's Kalias, he fakes it out, another fake saved! Where did Beast Mode come from? Where was he waiting? How has he read that one? How are we still in overtime?
Rule 1 thought they had it. They thought they were headed to Game 6, but V1 have closed the door again on another incredible save. Now here comes Daniel the other way. Flip reset, it's open for Beast Mode!
On one side, Beast Mode with one of the saves of the tournament, then down the other. He ensures that version 1 season could no longer be seen as a failure. North American super team come to Saudi Arabia and they steal the trophy from their heroes.
Daniel, Beast Mode, and Calm would win Gamers 8, cashing out $500,000. And Beast Mode would be the 2022 Gamers 8 MVP, cashing out an extra 10 bands. However, as mentioned earlier, they still would split and V1 would bow out of Rocket League as an esport. And this offseason was the longest we've ever seen. 4 whole months. WrestleMania would be in effect. Will Dane and Beast Mode stick as a duo and look for a third? And will Beast Mode go for the 2024 season? On December 7th, Daniel, Beast Mode, and Atomic would be announced to join G2.
You can't tell the story of competitive Rocket League without talking about G2.
G2 will be your RLCS World Champions by the time it is over!
You know I'm a fan. and I'm not alone.
Chicago double on the mark, and JNF will hammer it home.
It's been an amazing journey, but that was the past. Now, it's time for something new. Powered by a new partner and platform that will help you engage with G2 like never before. Still got the best damn coach in the game, and the next GOAT. Add in one of Rocket League's greatest prodigies of all time. As for the third, well, sometimes a name says it all. This roster will bring down the blue wall. And you know, try its best against BDS. New roster, new era, new name.
New G2.
This super team with one of the best coaches in the game had extremely high expectations coming into the new season. Winning the majority of the offseason tournaments and entering the first regional, they would shock everyone. G2 would win the regional, only dropping 2 games in the playoffs. And they would do it again, dropping only 2 games in the playoffs. Coming into the last regional, they were looking to triple crown the first major. Sadly, they would come second, falling short to Gen G. Nevertheless, G2 were a strong contender to win this major. Despite the beef between EU and NA, with casters, players, and other members of the community saying that all 4 major qualified teams in EU were better than this G2 roster. And entering the major, they were looking to prove the doubters wrong. G2 would barely sneak into the playoffs with 2 tough losses from Gen G and BDS, looking like they would go out first in the playoffs with their opponents being BDS, a team who nearly swept them in the Swiss stage. And coming into the playoffs, well, I'll let the footage do the talking.
Should they have the ball? BEASTMODE's the player who's broken through that. Atomic wins the race. It's Daniel! It's in! How's that one gone in?
It's the no one realised quite how good that shot was.
53 seconds. That's all that needs. G2 take the lead. Darren pushing forward, and G2 go 1 by 1. Tries to get this one down, and Exotic keep this one up. It's killed, and North America survives.
G2 make their way.
This win put G2 over the hump they were struggling with G2 being the only NA team in the semis. All of North America was rooting for G2. And this match against Vitality would have every single match be a 1-goal game.
Boys got that third match.
Looking for the demo, they've got it! Proved when his team needed it most. Daniel, reset, and at the worst time!
Big shot, Daniel ties it.
Back to Zen. Goes up, are we going to another overtime? Alpha will leave it. And that's on target! Not quite! Not where Vitality want their talisman. Beast mode, off the ceiling, drops down! It's Atomic! Wish. Atomic. Who's he going to get the ball past? He's doing so well! That's knocked down! So there we go! Daniel puts G2 on match point!
50 into Alpha. But we are going to overtime, ladies and huge situations. Now here comes Zen. Flip reset, goes in front of the ball, but he can't get the bump because G2 are here. It's open! G2 are going to take it!
Entering the Grand Finals, their 4th consecutive this season, they would face EU's 4th best, Gentlemates, who took out the tournament favorites Carmine Corp in 7. G2 would come out slow, losing the first 3 games, needing to pull off a best-of-7 reverse sweep in a LAN Grand Finals. They would win the first, they would win the second, but they do lose by 1 in Neo Tokyo, handing Gentlemates their LAN trophy, and G2 would go home. G2 were still doubted despite this 2nd place finish at the major, and entering the 2nd split, they would continue showing their dominance. G2 winning 2 regionals once again, and coming 2nd to Gen G again in a close Game 7 loss. G2 put their Grand Finals appearance streak at 7, and they came into the 2nd major coming in hot. G2 would sweep the Gladiators and Power where they would meet Mina's best, Falcons. BEASTMODE and G2 would get embarrassed, being outscored 12-2, putting doubt upon NA. Their 2-1 matchup would be a familiar opponent, Gen G. Of course they face again, where they would win in a close best-of-5 in a overtime winner. Entering the playoffs, they would meet another familiar face, SSG. G2 do stop SSG at the playoffs. Moving into Championship Sunday, they would face Furia, Sam's best team. G2 were again the only NA team in the semis. However, there were 4 different regions in the semis, which was the first time ever in RLCS history. Nevertheless, G2 would slam Furia and win in 4-2 fashion, appearing in their 8th consecutive Grand Finals this season, and they would face their Kryptonite. Yeah, you remember that Falcons team? The one who embarrassed G2 in the Swiss? Yeah, everyone predicted that this Falcons team will win the major, especially after the most entertaining series in the entire tournament. G2 came in as underdogs against this team, even with this being their 8th Grand Finals appearance, and once again, they needed a miracle.
Supreme Falcons G2 in your Grand Finals! Fire up and let's roll!
Anything can happen here today in the home of Rocket League, with 2 teams that couldn't be further from theirs. G2 and Falcons line up to make history.
Already another breach of G2 is better than anyone. That one's the backboard is gonna fall. Ground, they will have the game and they will make their stamp in the London Grand Finals. This arena, TLK to the backboard. BEASTMODE gets his catch, has to kill the ball. Is he able to? He tries to keep it going instead. Daniel scores! Now, but it's Atomic with the ball. TLK in the center, BEASTMODE's almost there for it. Atomic goes for the snapshot, and BEASTMODE tips it home. So Ruas has to finagle something. Here's TLK, Killer's in the center. One cut to him, one cut to Ruas either. G2 on the cast. Daniel over the top, no, not quite. Daniel, another block. G2 now the finish line in sight. It's shot down. Ruas for BEASTMODE. Seconds left though. It's probably not going to matter. The confetti's being lowered into the
Go, bro. Hey! Yo, guys, we expect this. Don't get too excited, bro. These guys are fun.
Yeah. It's all good.
Let's go.
London Major Champions!
It may be called the Copper Box, but only one team can take home the gold. G2, the All-American Superstars, the hope from their region against all odds.
BEASTMODE would win his first RLCS major while List being the MVP. Just a few years ago, he stepped away from the game and was not likely to come back and compete. And now, here in 2024, he is a 2-time LAN champion and a 2-time MVP. BEASTMODE and G2 are the heavy favorites for Worlds, which will take place in September. Will G2 be World Champs again? Only the Dickies Arena can tell. Thank you guys for watching.